Just to open the lines of communication.
Right, exactly. Well, that's the only reason, David. I mean, you got to have peace. Now, listen, this is all about probably a shift in direction because of the free fall. The CNNs and MSNBCs are in. They got nowhere to go. I mean, it's bad. You got to change course at some point.
That's part of it. And I can't help but think, and the words go through your head as you first read this. Kiss the ring, bend the knee,
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
And I'm looking at all these different posts on X at different places. Everybody's got the same reaction. I just am curious to know what their audience actually thinks. Like, are they actually going to defend them, Joe and Mika, to say, yeah, this is a really good move. This is going to be productive. Or are they, you're absolute frauds. Like you hadn't exposed yourselves already. Especially Joe with the infamous, the best Biden ever.
And F you if you don't believe it. I remember that clearly.
Because I know, and I wouldn't say it if it wasn't the truth.
Right.
Hilarious.
According to the Potato, Brian Stelter, media reporter at CNN, loyal Morning Joe viewers are furious about the Trump meeting. A journalism professor named Jeff Jarvis calls it a betrayal of their colleagues' democracy and us all. It is a disgusting show of...
Journalism professor. Okay. Great.
That's what I figured the reaction would be, honestly. Like, you're going to lose even more audience. But I guess for the sake of that show long term, you got to do something different. Are you just going to keep claiming Hitler forever? That doesn't seem like a winner.
That didn't work.
No, and it's hilarious. They're up for sale, MSNBC. I saw the one
Musk
rumor
gotta buy them.
Yes, that was, people are like,
Oh, really?
Elon Musk is considering buying it.
I think that's perfect. Yes.
And you've heard about
media empire.
CNN, too. Like, the mass layoffs are coming.
Yeah.
You seen that story?
Yeah, and they haven't changed anything. They're the same ridiculous outlet they were before.
100%. I mean, without Scott Jennings making an appearance on there,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Looney Tunes.
Yep.
Well, more on that later. The statement here is that it just came off as wrong. You want to explain this story, David?
We played the audio last week. A teacher in Connecticut has resigned now after she posted a video threatening to kill Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Like, step to me and I'll try to be gangster with me and you'll be in a stretcher forever, all that kind of nonsense.
Right.
Well, yeah, she was forced to resign. Channel 8 spoke to her. Her name is Annie Dunleavy, and I love the way the anchor starts it because he quotes her. What do you mean by that? It's hilarious.
Excellent. All right, roll.
If you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and then I can handle you how I see fit. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the blank you voted for. You're not in the clear. Please don't test your gangster on me because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so that
sounds like a threat.
It sounds very extreme. And again, I was in a moment of high emotions and I shouldn't have ever posted the video. But what the message I was trying to get across, and it came off very wrong, was, if this is going to give people the almost permission in their minds to enact violence against women or anybody, I wanted to basically just say, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I mean, it's my life's dream to be a teacher.
Are we getting weepy now?
Oh, yeah, here come the waterworks. I thought you was a gangster.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Bring it to me, you're going down. Oh, I'm sorry. It came off wrong.
I consider those kids my kids because I don't have any of my own.
Okay.
There you go.
That means you really need to be out. Not that you don't have kids, but you consider them your kids. That's scary to people. Especially when you have no impulse control.
And they feel that for me.
Time out. Did I hear a big snort?
Oh, yeah.
You heard a snort. That was a snort. Clearly a snort.
One of those?
Yes.
All right.
I don't have any of my own.
Whoa.
And they feel that for me. And it's so fulfilling. It's so rewarding. And I know that what people see right now, I don't look like that person, but
Nope.
I truly would do anything to help any child and any family in need.
Yeah, as long as they voted the way I voted. If not, I'll
Exactly.
have to kill them. Yeah.
Yes.
No problem.
All right, who thinks they still need to be fired?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And never
Yeah.
allowed in the classroom again. As you said, no impulse control.
Yeah.
We're America's Teachers Union. Educating your children for years. Oh, God.
Go through some rehab. talk about it later.
Oh, gosh.
For now, no thanks. So, when we all talked on Friday about the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight, Scott, you were going to watch it, I was going to watch it. David says, no, don't care. Don't care. All of a sudden, Robbins and I get the text Friday night, I guess I'm watching the fight. Why? Because David's wife was ready to bro down, and good for her.
Yeah, right. She wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And so then you tuned in early.
I did, yeah.
And we had the text going on about, what was happening. I'm like, well, the bigger fights are not happening till later. I'm actually watching Cobra Kai right now, but I'll get back to you guys later.
I didn't see the text.
And so anyway, and by the way, the fight with the ladies, Serrano, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody get hosed that bad. I don't understand it. I still don't understand it.
My wife couldn't watch that one.
Why?
She's like, I can't watch women just beating up each other. I can't watch this. So she opted out of that one.
Well, she's not going to be at the next bro down party.
Oh,
Guarantee
no.
you that. Did you guys watch the women fight?
Oh,
David?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That was a good fight.
Yeah. It is weird watching women beat the hell out of each other. But
Maybe I'm used to it.
part
Just
of it.
watching.
Yeah, you
UFC and
probably
stuff
see
like
more
that.
of this, yeah.
But then you see the main event, and what did you think of it?
Well, for the
was
part
terrible.
For the part I could watch on
Right.
Netflix, actually, because it crashed for me just like it did millions of other people. But I was able to watch a lot of it on Antonio Brown's Twitter feed.
Which is hilarious.
Because he was just like, it was like 7.5 million people watching it on his stream.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is just a terrible. That's a great look for Elon Musk's Twitter or X, but terrible look for Netflix.
That was terrible.
But it was boring. Yeah, it was really boring.
I had a buddy of mine that wanted to come over. He was like, hey, you going to watch this thing? I'm like, yeah. And at the time, my wife was under the weather, had been for a couple of days. I said, I felt like I did him a favor when all was said and done, because it was freaking midnight before it was on.
But yeah, the fights usually run
Ridiculous.
later.
It's like midnight. It's like, what the hell is going on here?
So, and we had some bets going on because you had picked Tyson, and then you said it was going to happen within 3 rounds.
Really dumb.
Anyway, the thing was, when Tyson came out in the first round, was like stalking and going after him. I'm like, oh my gosh, was it just me, or did you think Jake Paul looked scared in the beginning, like for the first couple of minutes?
Until he looked at his legs wobble and then went, okay.
Then it was different.
Yeah.
But at the very beginning, I'm like, oh
Right.
my gosh.
Yeah, no, I think he stayed away from him as much as possible, yeah.
And then Tyson just kind of ran out of gas. I don't know if you saw what Tyson posted. Said, this is one of those situations you lost, but still won. I'm grateful for last night. No regrets to get in the ring one last time. I almost died in June. Had 8 blood transfusions. Lost half my blood in 25 pounds in hospital and had to fight to get healthy.
What?
So in the end, I won. That was when they had to postpone that fight.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the thing that people remember more than anything was when they cut away from the interview, the short interview with Tyson beforehand, and there's his bare butt.
Yeah.
And did he do it on purpose? Was it a bet? Was it like another $1 million he could sock away?
Place to park the exercise bike.
Man, oh man. All right. Mount St. Robins is about to erupt. A story about J.B. Pritzker in Illinois next.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Active Liver is available in both a delicious gummy or tablet. You can find Active Liver in stores at CVS or Meijer or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code $1 for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code $1. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code $1 for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code $1.
All right. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. A lot going on over the weekend. A lot with Trump's nominations. We'll get to all that in a bit. Saw this and I knew you'd want to know this, Scott. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker vows Illinois will boost sex changes after the decisive Trump victory.
Trying to come up with the reasons why people want to come to the state of Illinois.
Yes, some people are calling it like a
This is a
vacation.
freaking tourism board. It is. He's doing it with abortions. He's done that. And now he's doing it with sex change operations.
Yes.
Feckless freak.
He wanted you to know that this Transgender Awareness Week, because they're just not talked about very often.
No.
JB wants you to know that he sees you and has your back as governor. He has enshrined protections for gender-affirming care to meet his moment. And because of that, you will have a home in Illinois always.
You know, this guy, again, fancies himself some sort of presidential fodder for the next election. He believes he can run and win. And he sweats gravy, and he's 800 pounds, and that's not going to happen ever in any lifetime. And again, this is what he does. It's not the beauty of Illinois. It's not the rivers. It's not the creeks. It's not the cities. It's abortion and sex change operations.
Letting the biological boys into girls' locker rooms and all that.
Well,
That's part of
that.
it.
And I guess he's got a cousin that is trans.
Jennifer. Yes.
Jennifer,
born a male, but now
formerly-
identifies as a female.
Yes.
And is very outspoken.
And you'd never know it if somebody didn't tell you.
Okay, well, man, I'm trying to paint a picture. I'm trying to. Hold on a second. I'm trying to do this respectfully.
I'm not.
But it's gonna. There's no way for me to communicate this without it sounding bad.
Yeah, okay.
Jennifer, the cousin, looks like JB dressed in drag. Have you ever seen Jennifer before?
Yeah.
I have the picture right here.
So
It absolutely is. Yes. Yes. Almost the same haircut, too. Almost.
J.B. Pritzker and Mrs. Doubtfire reboot.
It is.
It is.
Oh my
right.
gosh.
Yes.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Good vacuum cleaner in her hand, and you got it.
But whatever about that.
Right.
What is troubling to people is also the kids involved.
Yeah, right.
His quote, ensuring every Illinois student has access to a safe, validating learning environment.
Blah, blah, blah.
Where they can be their truth self.
Teach them how to read and write and do arithmetic.
Yeah, you ever see the Chicago schools?
Yes.
Scores? Use of restrooms, locker rooms, changing rooms. All
Okay,
that nonsense,
all right.
of
Listen,
course.
man,
all that just needs to go.
Just,
it's got to be beat. Goodness gracious.
At some point, yes.
You sound more frustrated now than when you thought your cable was out with Netflix there the other night with the fight.
I have no idea how frustrated I was then because you weren't there. But
I thought my streaming was jacked up.
I was losing my mind.
David was freaked out.
I would have paid good money to see or to have a live stream of Scott Robbins trying to figure out what was going on with Netflix.
Yeah, well, I'm yelling upstairs. The wife is scared.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
Poor woman, I feel sorry for her. Yep.
Estimated 60 million people watched the fight.
How many of them lost their connection?
Not sure. They kept trying to, buffer it back.
They got football games coming up. They better fix whatever this is.
Well,
I can't believe they got caught, flat-footed on the volume of people that were going to be tuning into this thing.
Did you ever believe there'd be 60 to 65 million people watching?
I kind of did. I mean, the way they
You get the
hyped this
sense.
thing for so long.
But my goodness.
Yeah, I know. But it was
compared to what other people
Yeah.
watch, like it's only football games that gets that kind of eyeballs. It's wild. All right. Biggest story today, David?
Biggest story of the day. Dude, I don't know where to begin, honestly.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
We're going to tackle all of that coming up. And around to What's Your Story straight ahead. The Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Okay. You know, part of what we do is you're trying to get news, all these different sources. What are people reporting? How are they reporting it?
Yeah.
ABC, Good Morning America. Been a case of the SADs ever since the election.
I saw this morning.
Oh, so you did see this.
I did.
I want to get David's reaction to it, too. Let's roll here.
President-elect Donald Trump Saturday at an Ultimate Fighting Championship event alongside controversial members of his new team.
Really?
Well, I mean, I'm watching and I'm like, holy smokes, man. You know, you got Dana White from the UFC, but you also have Trump sitting next to Elon Musk, and sitting next to Elon is Kid Rock. I'm like, this is the greatest nation ever. The Tulsi Gabbard's there.
Saddest people.
RFK Jr.'s there. Anyway.
As this morning, Trump is gearing up for his own fight to get his cabinet picks confirmed.
Okay, let's go to controversy one, and then we'll get to the rest later. But the first one.
Questions continue to grow over Trump's choice for defense secretary. Fox News host Pete Hegseth. His attorney confirming Hegseth paid a woman who accused him of sexual assault in 2017 as part of a settlement agreement, though claiming the encounter was consensual. Trump was made aware of the incident shortly after he named Hegseth to the position and is standing by him. His team saying that Hegseth has vigorously denied any and all accusations and no charges were filed. We look forward to his confirmation.
All right, so far, what do you make of that?
It's just more of the same stuff.
Yeah, it is more of the same stuff. And I'm wondering,
it never ends.
Did any of these people ever talk about Doug Emhoff smacking around an ex-girlfriend and maybe smacking around another person, the nanny he knocked up?
Nope.
No, they did not.
Oh, okay. Then I don't care. It's that simple. I don't care.
Yeah, I get that. Totally get that. I guess, by the way, the way this story goes is the allegations were made in 2020. This happened in 2017. And, I mean, I'm paraphrasing it. Hegseth says he had too many drinks, had spoke at this conference, and according to witnesses there, this woman kind of takes him on up to his room. But apparently, her husband was also staying there, and he had wondered, why didn't she come back? Okay, so he says consensual, but she says, no, it really wasn't. But then there was a settlement involved, but then it leaks out and then it's reported on. So that's sort of the state of the way I understand it from reading a piece from the New York Post on that. And then that's not the only reason Pete Hegseth is problematic.
Oh, no, that's just script.
That's just part of it.
Hegseth is also under fire for some of his tattoos depicting religious symbols and phrases that fellow service members flagged to his superiors over concerns there.
You're shaking your head, David.
Wasn't it one guy?
That's as I heard.
One service member who is a liberal?
Yeah, but that's many.
Over concerns they're associated with white supremacists.
Listen to this.
Hegseth saying those concerns amount to anti-Christian bigotry, posting, "They can target me, I don't give a damn. But this type of targeting of Christians, conservatives, patriots, and everyday Americans will stop on day one at Donald Trump's Department of Defense."
Here you go.
Hegseth's post notably not disavowing the supremacists who have adopted the symbolism, though he has in the past.
I know, right, David? I know. I said the same thing. I'm watching this thing live.
He didn't disavow, though.
Right.
And then she says, though he has in the past. Apparently, you have to do it every single time you talk now.
That's the new rule.
Now, whenever you introduce a segment, Jamie, it is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. I'm Jamie Markley. There's David Van Camp. That's Scott Robbins, and we disavow white supremacists.
Yes. That's how you have to do it every time.
Yeah.
And we're all former smokers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But fine people now. On all three sides. So stupid.
We live in the dumbest times.
It's the same
really do.
playbook, man.
It is, exactly. I thought the same way. I'm thinking after the election, maybe these people will reassess how they handle things. They don't. They're just doubling down. We can't go after Trump himself. He won overwhelmingly. So now let's go after his cabinet picks with nonsense like this.
Well, listen, man.
That never should have made air. None of it.
I don't know the whole story with Pete, what happened in 2017. And as far as I know, he was married at the time. I'm not saying it was okay to do. I'm not saying that. But the way it's reported there, it gives you an idea of what happened. If you look deeper into the story, and they know this, there are other details that make it a little more cloudy. I'm saying that at the least, but they won't do it.
No.
Because they slant everything.
Yes.
And it's disgusting. Meanwhile, there's a choir teacher that was allowed to stay in the classroom after what happened, David?
Oh, even after the district knew he was being investigated for sex abuse of a minor.
Oh my!
This is crazy. This is in St. Helens School District, Oregon. This comes after a massive payout for a former track coach, Kyle Jared Warbleski, whose abuse led to his conviction, and the St. Helens massive payout, which was the largest sex abuse settlement ever made by a public school district in the state of Oregon. So one of the guys who was involved in this or knew something about it posted on TikTok about all of the other teachers who were suspect in that school district. Well, the cops started looking at the comments on this, and they started talking to people who were commenting on it and said, okay, there are some credible allegations here, and knew that for years there had been reports about this teacher who's now under arrest, Eric Stearns, a choir teacher, award-winning choir teacher, by the way, who had been very inappropriate with kids. And I guess for about 2 months, the school district knew he was under investigation. However, they didn't remove him from the classroom. And they initially,
goodness, man,
the school board, the head of the school board, I guess, said that the cops told him, okay, well, no, you don't need to take him out of the classroom. The police chief says, I never said that. So now that guy's gone. And I guess the superintendent is on paid administrative leave as of right now. I mean, which good, too little, too late. I mean, dude, come on.
You know, you think about a lot of liberal laws, or in this case, even people standing like in the way of justice for the pedos.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yep.
Yeah, according to court documents, Stearns is accused of sexually abusing 6 minors dating back to 2015, and as late as January of this year, another teacher, a math teacher, Mark Collins, has been arrested. He's accused of sex abuse of minors between the years 2017 and 2023.
And it certainly sounds like people just looking the other way.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is. Yeah.
Well, if you know about it, don't say anything. Lock them up. It's got to stop, man.
We don't believe what we're hearing.
Terrible. Oh, right. Yeah. All right, it's that time of the show. Going around the table. May not be the biggest story out there, but it got your attention. David, today, what's your story?
My story today has to do with Joe Biden trying to start World War III on the way out the door.
Man.
Well, he's in the rainforest.
Yeah.
With his family.
Yeah, he went. Yeah,
unbelievable.
He went to Brazil, talk about climate change, and then there's this video, and I don't think it certainly looks like he was wandering off into the rainforest.
It did. Yes.
Yeah.
It was just really funny.
Yes.
The comments on it were great. Oh my gosh, yeah, they're releasing him back into the wild. It's beautiful. Well, Joe Biden also authorized the Ukrainian military to begin using U.S.-made long-range missiles to strike targets inside of Russia. Which for Putin has been that's been a red line.
Yes.
You know, hey, if the U.S. is involved in strikes within Russia, we're considering you now to be a belligerent in this conflict.
This was something we were never going to get into, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, no boots on the ground. No aggressiveness like that. No.
And now here we are.
Well, and again, he's not even here. Who did this? Who ordered this? How does this happen?
Dr. First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden. She'll burn the whole world down.
Or maybe he said it was okay. Maybe he got the countries mixed up. Who knows?
There's no way we were ever going to unite Ukraine. I mean, excuse me, Iraq, Afghanistan. No way that was going to happen.
Best Biden ever, and that was 2020. Unreal. All right, Scott, what do you got today for what's your story?
We're talking about these cabinet positions and all the outrage coming from the left, typical stuff. And I just kind of put a list together this weekend on people. I think we should feel grateful about this. And these are people we don't have to see anymore in these cabinet positions. Merrick Garland, Jennifer Granholm, Javier Baccaria.
Javier Baccaria.
Thank you. Janet Yellen, Anthony Blinken, Pete Buttigieg, Alejandro Mayorkas, Lloyd Austin. These are all people that are going to be gone. This should put a little pep in your step. These people are not coming back, despite the fact that all of these appointees of Trump's may or may not get through. We don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore.
No.
Just something to feel grateful about today. Thank you, Donald Trump, again.
Yeah. A lot of people are excited about the team. There's
But
no doubt
no more
about that.
Mayorkas, no more Lloyd Austin, no more of any of this garbage.
Yes. For my story, it just happened to be told about this. This is kind of cool. There's this guy. He had his dream car, which was a 67 Chevy Camaro. Blue with white stripes down across the hood and down the back.
Nice.
Okay. He had to sell it because he was a new dad. That happens. I mean, sometimes you got your toys or whatever, and you're like, I've got to sell some stuff here because I've got to support family. That's just, something that I need to do. But of course, he had great memories of that car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fast forward, and this dude buys it. It was his son. He wanted to repay his dad.
How cool is that?
I'm like, wow, that sounds really cool. What a thing to do for Pops, huh?
That is not just a 67 Camaro. Right. That is your 67 Camaro. That is your car. Thanks for the diaper money, Dad.
That was my car.
Yeah, it's your car.
Wanting Dad to really understand how much I love him. And I'm like, what is the greatest thing possible? And it's the Camaro. It was always going to be the Camaro.
Gave up that Camaro for diaper money. The kid buys it back for him years later.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Absolutely love that story.
I bought my dad a wheelbarrow. It makes me feel really bad now.
Jamie, you and I both have sons. The bar is high now.
I was thinking that Firebird formula with the T-tops and the red velour. Yeah, baby! We're back!
An 8-track player.
CD. I'm not that old, Scott. News update straight ahead.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house knows all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, we're all doing the Trump dance. The Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show. There is an optimistic vibe that's out there.
Yeah.
Work can finally be done on a lot of the major issues this country is facing. One of the most significant being our national debt, but that's going to take a while. That is like a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. So the folks at Birch Gold remind you the strategy remains the same. Diversify your savings.
Yeah, it's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best news is it will not cost you a penny out of pocket.
Okay, just text MVCR to 989898. Get your free info kit. Plus, right now, through Black Friday, you'll receive a free 1-ounce Silver Eagle for every $5,000 purchased. Protect your savings with Birch Gold. Text MBCR to 989898 and claim your eligibility for the free silver today.
So one of the controversial picks from Donald Trump is RFK Jr.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Did you happen to see as an example of a product with too many artificial ingredients? Questioning why the Canadian version has fewer than the U.S. version. But he was wrong. And that's what it says in the fact check, right?
Oh, wow.
It says the ingredient list is roughly the same. Although Canada's has natural colorings made from blueberries and carrots, while the U.S. product contains red dye 40, yellow 5, and blue 1, as well as BHT, a lab-made chemical that is used, quote, for freshness, according to the ingredient label. So when RFK Jr. says, why are they using all these artificial ingredients? Wrong. And we're going to tell you why, except, no, he's right.
Yeah. Their correction said, oh, our bad. An earlier version of this article stated that he said there were more artificial ingredients. That's true. We thought he was talking about total ingredients.
Toucan Sam tried to protect it.
It's really something, man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you look at all these stats of how unhealthy our country is. And a lot of times he'll say it's the food that we eat, and it's got a bunch of ingredients, a lot that I couldn't even tell you what they are. I've listened to I don't know how many hours of different people talking about this stuff, and what they say makes sense, but all of a sudden, oh my God, this is so dangerous, this RFK Jr. And they're still going with, and a vax denier. He's anti-vax, which he has said, I don't know how many times. I'm not anti-vax. I'm saying there should be more rigorous testing.
I guess the thing is, he'll probably go after next is how much will Fruit Loops cost if his laws are enacted or his concerns are enacted. Will it be a $17 bottle of box of cereal after that? Or
that's one of the things
how's that
that
going to work, you know?
Also heard.
I want to know how that works.
I did like the photo of RFK on Trump's airplane. You see that they all ate McDonald's?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's holding that the double quarter pounder or whatever it was, and he just looks horrified.
Yes. Yeah, because you got Don Jr., he's all smiles. Yeah. And there's Elon Musk, he's all smiles. Don, of course. And then RFK Jr., yeah, here I go.
Yeah.
I guess I'll eat this.
There's a side-by-side, and somebody captioned it. It's like Trump beaming at the camera and RFK doing like the half smile.
Yeah.
Thing, and it says, when you finally convince your health nut mom to get McDonald's, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Something else. I don't know that we have time to get into this right now. Did you hear about this app out of Australia? It's supposed to be a health thing. It wants you to keep track of your flatulence over a 3-day period. By how often, how loud, the aroma, all of it, to talk about gut health. Have you heard about this at all?
No.
It sounds crazy that there's a fart tracking app, but it's 100% true.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying, Scotty, you might want to look into that.
I know.
This is the Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show.
Jamie
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Oh, I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Well, there's hope. We can all come together as a nation. If Joe and Mika could sit down with Donald Trump, Hitler himself.
That is wild, man.
It's really funny. And how self-important they are with all of this on MSNBC. Mika Brzezinski, Joe Scarborough, who have spent years now telling Americans that Trump was literally Hitler. Biden was sharper than he's ever been. This version of Biden is the best version of Biden.
Yes.
And blank you if you can't handle the truth.
That's right.
That's right.
They had this hilariously dramatic piece of news to share. They went to Mar-a-Lago and met with Hitler himself. And they're acting like they're going to solve world peace or something because Trump won the popular vote.
Here we go.
I will tell you, a lot of Democratic leaders we've talked to this past week, since the election, have told Mika and me it's time for a new approach. And when I say top Democrats, I mean top Democrats.
Yeah.
Take him at his word.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they're not going to talk to just garden variety Democrats.
They don't have time.
I mean, that's the Morning Joe, for crying out loud.
Listen to this speaker of truth.
They said, listen, we're open to working with the incoming president if the incoming president is open to working with us.
Yeah, the question is, though, how do we get there? Hyperbole and personal attacks will not work. My hair on fire doesn't work. We've all seen that.
What about bleeding badly from the face?
Yeah, well.
What also does not work is threatening political opponents with arrest, harassment, and even jail. That is a failed path. Recent history has proven that impeachments and trials turn those on trial.
Oh, they're talking about the way they've approached Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. Well, yeah.
It's just so funny to me. They're so much in their own bubble and so little self-awareness of what clowns they really sound like. It's something, man.
Into political martyrs and only make them more popular with the American people. It will take a new approach from all sides, from both parties, and a leader who can bring them together. And only time will tell if Donald Trump is that leader.
Our ratings are in a free fall. Therefore,
That, to me, I think they're laying a trap for Donald Trump. I think
it's possible
because I mean, for a while, Joe Scarborough was actually an informal advisor to Joe Biden. So I do believe him when he says that there have been some Democrats at high levels of power or whatever working him on the phones. Because here's the thing, the other thing to back up a little bit is Joe Scarborough is the poster child for the towel boy who thinks he's the same as the star quarterback. He thinks he's really a mover and shaker. He's not. He's useful to Democrats. He's useful. He's a useful idiot, is what he is.
Yeah.
So, okay, they dispatch this guy over to Mar-a-Lago to try to say, hey, man, the Democrats are willing to work with you, which is the exact thing that happened before Donald Trump took office in 2017.
Sure.
They're trying to butter the guy up. And this is, I mean, look, Trump is very transactional. And I don't believe he holds grudges, except for like weird things like his hand size.
Oh yeah.
Like with all this, I think he does want to come at this in a practical, pragmatic way.
Yeah.
As he takes power again, he can't.
I don't think he will. I really don't. I think he learned so many lessons from the first time around, and one was being the Republican Party saying, "Hey, we've got the guys for you to put in your administration who are not on Team Trump and did not want to accomplish his goals."
Right.
It was accomplish goals for the old school Republican Party. And it was the same thing with the Democrats. It's like business as usual. He is looking to disruptors to join him to come in and really change the country. I totally believe that. And I hope I'm not wrong about that. Part of this to me just sounds like desperation. And also, like, not only is it the ratings, we've clowned ourselves in such a way, we've got to try a different approach. That's all I can figure. And it is so strange because every time they talk about coming together, I cannot forget what it was like before they had their big blow up and how much Mika would flirt with Trump. It's just wild to me to think back at those times when, was it he called her to see what she thought of his speech? This was when he was first running in 2015.
Did you get a lot of sleep last night?
Well, I got woken up, but
why?
well, you know, Donald wanted me to see the CPAC speech. I was skeptical, but I pulled it up on the internet.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Pretty good.
It was pretty good. Joining us on the phone right now, Donald Trump. Good morning, Donald.
Mika, what do you mean pretty good? You know you loved it.
Wow.
Trump, you're naughty.
She still got a thing for him. She had her feelings hurt there for a while. She doesn't believe he's Hitler.
I mean,
that's absolute nonsense.
And you just, you know, and the whole flirtatious thing, and now the whole change of heart.
Oh, yeah. We're going to hold him accountable is what we're going to do. Blah, blah. Viewers. Okay, yeah, we can trust you.
And I'm going to do whatever I want in front of Joe and humiliate him and continue to.
More on that a little bit later. This is a wild story, David, from the former CDC director.
Yeah, Robert Redfield is talking about the origins of COVID. This is from an interview with Dana Parrish. And he's saying U.S. researchers were probably pretty heavily involved in the early development of what became COVID-19. And he said, look, he's saying this doesn't let China off the hook, but there's a reason why there are a whole lot of people like Fauci and others who really don't want to talk about the origins of COVID-19.
No, they don't. I totally agree.
You know, when you look at the accountability for China, their accountability is not in the lab work and the creation of the virus. Their accountability is not following the international health regulations after they realized that they had a problem, and allowing people like me at CDC to come in and to help them within 48 hours like they were obligated to based on the treaty. But the U.S. role was substantial. One is they funded the research, both from NIH, the State Department, USAID, and the Defense Department. All four of those agencies helped fund this research.
Well.
Secondly, the scientific mastermind behind this research is a guy named Ralph Barrick at the University of North Carolina.
And this is where the other turn comes, which is really interesting.
And he was very involved in this research. I think he probably helped create some of the original viral lines, but I can't prove that. But he was very involved. And
some have said that they are concerned that it was actually developed here and China was framed. Is that possible?
Well, I don't know if they were framed, but I think there is a real possibility that the virus birthplace was Chapel Hill.
And then brought over.
Yeah.
Continued research. Chinese military was there in the Wuhan lab. But most people in America don't even know that.
Of course not.
And that's why I hope the truth comes out.
It just has to.
What, were you surprised Redfield would do the interview and give that many details?
At this point, no, not really, because he's been once he left government, and there were too many people out there trying to paint him out to being a kook and all of this, and he's like, you know what, forget it. Fine, I'm naming names.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we were reminded the other day, because Grabian did that montage of different conspiracy theories. And I remember when we first talked about, they're saying that it could have came from that lab, and here were all the reasons why. And I remember they would talk about it on Fox, and all of a sudden people would freak out. That is a conspiracy theory from the right. There is nothing about that. It came from the wet market, blah, blah, blah. And then you're reminded.
Now, part of the conspiracy theory is that the disease started in a laboratory in Wuhan.
Just weeks ago, Dr. Anthony Fauci rejected the conspiracy that coronavirus was man-made in a lab in Wuhan,
bet he did.
China. And yet this week, Donald Trump is still pushing the debunked bunkum.
A lot of people on the right love that phrase, escape from the lab, because it sounds like something from a Marvel movie or a comic book.
Everyone who believes in the conspiracy is saying that he came out of a lab in Wuhan rather than through food at a market.
And
yes. I mean, when you know the entire story, of how they got into the different scientific papers and how much pressure Fauci and NIH put on different scientists. Like, boy, it'd be a shame if you lost all that funding, you know? Better sign on to this paper. It's terrible. Yeah, I hope all that comes out. Saw this story out of the Wall Street Journal. There are some rural areas in different blue states that are like, you know what? We want to be done with the rest of the state. That would be downstate Illinois, or actually like 90 miles outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
Good part of California. We don't want to be roped in with these loons anymore. We want to be a separate state. Think there's any chance that that can happen?
No.
Well, that's a terrible attitude. That's not the can-do America. Come on, disruptor. Let's go.
I think you got to put paper to pencil here and figure out economically and financially if you even could do it.
I think that's what's going on, according to this piece.
Well, I think they could, because a lot of those areas, the reason why the state would fight, like California, for example, the reason that they would fight tooth and nail to make sure that these counties don't secede or don't get folded into a different state, whatever it is because they really like having that agriculture portfolio.
Yeah.
To pad their bottom line. And so they need, as much as they ridicule it, as much as a guy like Gavin Newsom, the governor, will ridicule agricultural, more rural areas of California, he knows he needs them.
Yeah. Like in Oregon, a group called Greater Idaho, we've talked about it before, wants to redraw state lines. So the conservative rural counties east of the Cascade Mountain Range can join Idaho. They would like to be able to do that. This will be interesting. Just keeping an eye on it. It's one of those where I can get somewhat excited seeing it, knowing that whatever happened, you're not too sure. But at the same time, there's a reason there's a West Virginia. It's not like it's never happened.
And North and South
I know
Carolina.
different circumstances.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But still. You know, a lot of times on Monday, the news can be heavy. We're having some fun with different things today. But David will bring in some musical fun occasionally. And I think he's done it today.
Oh, I love this. Actually, our producer, Andre, sent this to us over the weekend. A comedian named Bill Bailey did a cover of Enter Sandman. You'll never guess what the instrument he used was.
What was it?
Bicycle horns.
Bicycle horns.
Yeah.
All right, Andres. Thanks, buddy. Roll it. That was Mariano Rivera's walk-in music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Close it out for the Yankees.
Yep.
I don't know if that would have struck the same fear in batters if it would have been the... That's great, man. Okay. What is going on in Pennsylvania? With you got Democrats openly cheating. Straight ahead. The perfect gift this holiday season is meat, and nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. I've given them out to friends and family for years, and it's always a hit. And right now, save 50% off gourmet gifts site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, get a $30 reward card when you shop early and score an extra $30 off with promo code MARKLEY, M-A-R-K-L-E-Y.
They've got build your own Thanksgiving dinners, pick from turkey, spiral sliced ham, fully cooked beef, plus freezer to oven sides, or make it easier with meals like traditional turkey dinner, a prime rib feast, gourmet lamb, or get ahead for Christmas with packages that start at $89.99.
Save 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code MARKLEY and a $30 reward card when you shop early. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code MARKLEY. Minimum purchase may apply.
This statement is not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I was always tired, with weekly bouts of indigestion. A friend asked me, when was the last time you did a detox? Never, I said, so she recommended Active Liver.
Our liver works hard every day to remove toxins from processed foods and unclean air and water. But too many toxins can overwhelm the liver, causing it to actually store toxins in our body fat. Low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation are all telltale signs that we need to act. Water or juice fasts can help, but often require days or weeks of feeling tired and sick. Thankfully, there's an easier way. Active Liver from New Nordic is a natural supplement that helps your liver effectively eliminate toxins on a daily basis, leaving you feeling better with more energy and less bloating.
Within a week of taking Active Liver, I was feeling better, and now I have more energy than I've had in years.
Available in both tablet or delicious gummies, you can find Active Liver online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or in stores at your local CVS or Meijer grocery.
Show. I'm Jamie Markley, the Gen Xer. David Van Camp, the Millennial, the Sexy Boomer. That's Scott Robbins. David, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's just like cheating.
Yeah, they're openly trying to count. So I'll back up here. The state Supreme Court ruled in a couple of different rulings that misdated or undated ballots can't be counted. Because there were some challenges to this, and in Bucks County and a few other counties, Democrats have said, no, we're going to count them. We're going to hold on to them because we believe that court precedent doesn't matter anymore, is what they said.
So Dave McCormick is the winner. He said Bob Casey's not conceding. He's like, well, we're going to count these other votes.
Yeah.
And you had, this Democratic official in the county just openly breaking the law and saying, yes, so what?
I think we all know that precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
What does that mean? They already ruled on it. There's a freaking law. What is going on? And they were talking about this on Fox because Senator Mike Lee from Utah has said, if Bob Casey doesn't concede, Pennsylvania keeps counting illegal votes, and Casey relies on those to claim victory, the Senate could refuse to seat him. We could do that next.
Well, they should.
You got to follow the law. So the legal analyst from Fox, Carrie Urban, said this.
And my question in all of this over the last few days has been, where is Governor Josh Shapiro in this?
Yeah.
Where is the Secretary of State of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania? Why are they not directing their officials to follow the law? The Pennsylvania Supreme Court literally just addressed this issue 2 weeks ago. Right. And again, there are 3 simple rules.
Yes, just follow the law. And where is the leader of that state?
No.
Should be saying, hey, we got to follow the law.
You would think they're simple. When it comes to what that govern mail-in ballots, they have to be placed in a specific kind of envelope, they have to be signed, and they have to be dated, handwritten. Right. And so what's happening in these counties is some counties are following those rules and some aren't. The clip you just played showed a county official saying, court precedent doesn't matter. And it's quite shocking to me.
I mean, the one part that's not is we've seen Democrats over time just say, well, we're just going to do it. I don't care about the law. Seen that time and time again, especially with the open border.
Mm-hmm.
But the border is secure. No, it's not. This is like, I guess it's just apples and oranges, but it almost seems like another level. Well, I know they ruled, but we're still going to count the illegal votes.
Yeah, well, I just think that future Attorney General Matt Gaetz or whoever takes that role needs to start building a RICO case against these Democrats, because that's what they did in Georgia.
Yep.
And what happened with the Trump campaign in Georgia was far less egregious than what's happening right now in Pennsylvania.
No doubt. Saw this making the rounds. I don't know if you saw this online. Different people talking about things they'd change about a marriage proposal. Oh. Anything come to mind for you? Did you change it? Would your significant other change it?
You mean like during a baseball game?
Like location,
kind of
the way you did it, how you asked, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we're not going to do it at baseball games, at baseball parks anymore.
But would you change yours? How you did it?
No, it was kind of cool the way I did it, so no, absolutely not.
We'll be the judge of that. How'd you do it?
I had the waitress bring her ring in a to-go box And she opened it up to put our to-go stuff in, and then the ring was in there. That's all.
Nice.
And in the restaurant, our first date was at the restaurant, same day.
Was there weeping?
No, because we had talked about it prior. It wasn't a huge, I mean, I wanted to make it memorable. But as I'm going in, she said, "Oh, I want to do something different." I'm like, "Oh no."
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robin show. See, we're up on it, but now I want to hear more.
Well, I said, "Well, maybe we should do it at the baseball park, at the baseball games." I was just kidding, joking around. She's like, "No, I don't want to do that kind of thing. I want it to be just special between the two of us." Oh, okay. So we're walking in. I'm going to do it at the restaurant, right? Kind of a quiet little, restaurant situation. She said, "You know what? I've been thinking. Maybe we should do it at the ballpark." Are you kidding me? I mean, the ring's in my pocket. We're walking into the restaurant. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Well, you could have waited until the next ball game, right?
No, I get this thing sticking out of my pocket, and it's.
You probably saw it.
Yeah, well, that's possible. I don't think so.
She's like, I know he's not happy to see me. That's a ring.
Yeah.
Okay, news update.
Well aware of that.
And what's your story straight ahead? The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Some people on the left are not taking this loss very well.
No, they're not.
It seems like this might be an example of that, David.
Yeah, it is, because, of course, one of the most effective ads that was put out there by the Trump campaign, and it ran all over the place multiple times, was about boys playing in girls' sports.
Yeah.
And so there have been many not totally brainwashed Democrats like Seth Moulton in Massachusetts saying, hey, we got to back away from some of these extreme positions because people don't buy it.
No.
They don't like watching girls get seriously injured by boys invading their spaces.
Not at all.
Well, liberals who are brainwashed, or at least on the take, are saying, but we can't give up this fight. And for one, I appreciate it. Liberal talk show host John Oliver he was actually hyperventilating a little bit while denying that boys playing in girls' sports is even an issue.
Okay. All right. Have you heard this guy?
No.
Okay, roll it.
As we've discussed before, there are vanishingly few trans girls competing in high schools anywhere. Even if there were more, trans kids, like all kids, vary in athletic ability, and there is no evidence they pose any threat to safety or fairness. It is very weird.
No evidence?
There's evidence everywhere.
You haven't seen video of competitions?
Yeah.
Really?
It is very weird for you to be so focused on this subject. And finally, if you genuinely want to address the biggest concern for most girls who play high school sports, you'd be less worried about this and more about the creepy assistant volleyball coach who keeps liking their posts on Instagram.
We are worried about that guy.
Yeah.
And your side calls us, what, bigots?
Yeah. Right.
You screech, why do you call them groomers? Well, because that guy's creeping on girls on Instagram.
Of course. So he's saying it hardly happens and there's no evidence of a physical advantage?
Yeah.
Almost verbatim what Jen Psaki said over the weekend.
Well, to be fair to him, that's true for a lot of British men.
Got it. Can I also just point something out? They're saying that there is no advantage to a boy playing against girls in sports. However, Kamala Harris lost the presidential election because she's a woman.
They want it both ways.
Yeah, make sense of that one.
Well, because there's bigots out there.
Right.
And they're sexists.
Well, Kamala Harris is a woman who thinks she's a woman.
Right.
Different.
Got it. Okay. John Oliver just seems like one of those guys.
He is.
Okay, maybe not for you personally that you have a physical advantage, but most dudes do in one way or another.
Yeah.
I don't even know that guy's background. Does he have kids? If you have a boy and a girl and watch them go through sports together.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yep.
If you just have eyes to see, that's it. But no. And you wonder, man, guys like that, are they just, all right, they're paid now push a message. They have huge contracts, and it's like, dude, this is the message you're going to stick with.
Well, and we're back
Or
to
they
this.
have.
We're back to this. What is an acceptable number?
There's none.
Very small amount. Well, again, what's acceptable?
None. Listen.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I know you probably felt like you had a lot of momentum, okay? In this whole, a person can just say, all of a sudden, they're the different sex.
Yeah.
And people just have to accept it. But enough people said, that's insanity. We're not going to do that. We have good hearts. We want everyone to flourish, but we're not all going to play pretend or let this dude in the girls' locker room.
Right.
That's where the line's drawn. Period. The end.
Yep.
And they're having a hard time getting over it. I don't know if it's that simple. That's just the way it seems to me. Wow. Are we ready for What's Your Story? I can't wait for that, because there's a few to get to. I can't believe that guy really thinks that. I really can't.
He's been broken.
Wow. All right, it's that time. Go around the table. May not be the biggest story out there, but it caught your attention. David, what's your story?
A very serious story. The trial of the man accused, the illegal alien accused of murdering Laken Riley is going on, and this is just, I mean, it's a heartbreaking situation all the way around.
Yeah, it is.
And infuriating, because this guy never had a right to be here, except Biden let him in.
Yes.
The roommate of the illegal alien, though, is testifying today. And by the way, they were in Manhattan initially. They requested a humanitarian flight to go to Atlanta in September of 2023. So New York State tax dollars went to shipping these guys to Atlanta because they needed to depressurize the sanctuary city. And then what happens?
Yeah.
This monster, this animal goes and beats Laken Riley to death.
Remember at the airport where they had people just basically living there?
Yeah.
And they had them curtained it off, and different people were trying to get cameras in there, and they were shoved out by federal employees trying to hide what they were doing. It's disgusting, man. Golly, that is such a sad story, man. It's just infuriating. All right, Scott, what do you got for What's Your Story?
There should be a book written about this. $1 billion in 107 days. That's how, seriously.
It is wild.
That's how much money was flushed down the toilet from the DNC to try to elect the worst candidate in my lifetime, Kamala Harris, to the presidency of the United States. Of course, we all know she was shellacked. Well, they're drowning right now in $20 million worth of debt, courtesy of all that freewheeling spending that was going on. Not ideal for a party that's facing what they're describing now as 2 years in the political wilderness, which of course they will be. So, like all caring people, what they decided to do 1 month before Christmas is lay off significant amount of the staff without paying them. Drastic cuts have been made in the workforce. They went into effect on Friday, and by the way, no severance pay. Get out! Your usefulness here is over. Get this, the union that represents the DNC employees. Wow. Did you know there was one? I had no idea.
Yeah, they got bullied into allowing the union to form.
Of
which
course
was
they're
really
unionized,
funny.
of course. None too pleased with the Kamala Harris campaign, but what are you going to do about it? It's good, too, I guess they did this a month out of Christmas. They don't celebrate it anyway because it's all just hooey, you know, and none of it's real, so how dare you say Christmas? So, therefore, there you go. How do you go through $1 billion in 107 days? Unfreaking believable.
Well, it is like, all right, I've got all this cash. I'm going to get together my friends, or people at least I think are my friends, and they are all getting paid.
Man.
You know what? I don't know that I've asked either one of you guys this question. I don't know if I've asked this question of anyone. Do you believe Kamala Harris thought she was going to win going into Election Day?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
She was told by so many people, yes.
But the internal polling had to tell them they were in trouble. They had to know.
I think they were thinking that there's going to be this huge turnout.
Maybe.
And the Republicans will stay home or, you know, not vote accordingly or whatever.
Maybe. Okay.
They
For my
lost
story,
20 million votes somehow.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. For my story, UFC 309 with John Jones, who's being called the best ever. won the other night.
Yeah, I saw that.
And a lot of attention, of course, was Netflix Friday night, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
That debacle.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? First clip I'll play you is John Jones being asked if he watched the Tyson fight. Because, I mean, Mike Tyson's a legend for, pretty much all these guys. And I thought his answer was pretty interesting.
Mike Tyson fight, and what was your thoughts on him getting back in the ring at 58?
I did catch the fight. It was hard to see him so old. Red Jones Jr. kept saying it, man, those legs aren't working. It was really hard to see. He really sold it, with the highlight videos of him training and his physique.
By the way, and on that, how many people did you talk to who said, have you seen his training? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
He looked ferocious. And he actually did parts of the first round, but anyway.
I wish he went and showed us his ass. That was a little wild.
Which is going to be one of the takeaways. People were freaking out. That was getting shared all over online. And I played a clip of this earlier when Jones won with the spinning kick, which, by the way, he gave a tip of the cap to Bruce Lee later on for that incredible move. But the way Rogan talked about him doing the Trump dance was hilarious. And then the Trump dance.
He did the Trump dance. He did the Trump dance. Spinning back kick to the body. Spinning back kick. Followed by the Trump dance.
And so he's pointing at Trump, and Trump's pointing back at him. I don't know if you guys happen to see that footage or not. It was pretty cool.
Fantastic.
And then, as he's being interviewed right after, a couple of things. He mentions Jesus and then Trump. I thought it was very interesting.
While everybody's cheering and so happy, I want to acknowledge Jesus Christ.
And the crowd went nuts at Madison Square Garden. Something not everyone expected there.
I tell you what, man. I cannot take credit for a gift like this, man. I really owe it all to him. And I know that there's millions of people around the world watching right now. And I just want to let you guys know that Jesus loves you so much. That's all I'll say about that.
And then he goes on to talk about Trump.
I also want to say a big, big thank you to President Donald Trump for being here tonight. Can I get a
That place was going crazy.
It was wild. It was, I mean, it's hard for me to describe. I guess when you see a band at the top, the biggest band in the world, at the top of their game, and when they first come on stage, the explosion that happens, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Hey, what do you guys think about my version of the Donald Trump? Check it out.
And then he does the dance again. They're all laughing. Yeah, they were having a good time.
USA! USA! Let's go! That's what I like. I'm proud to be a great American champion. I'm proud to be a Christian American champion.
People just loved it, man. And it was this sense of unashamed patriotism.
Yeah.
And faith. I was like, wow, man. You don't see that every day.
Very excited. That was not manufactured at all. The guy just walked in. They didn't even announce him. He just walked in. And the place just blew up when they saw him.
Oh, when Trump first came in.
Yeah, when he first walked in.
Yeah.
David, you got to get that old band back together again and do the Trump dance song.
By the way,
there's something there. Yeah.
Babylon Bee headline: to pay back $20 million in campaign debt, Kamala Harris agrees to fight Jake Paul.
Yes.
There's no advantage. Ask John Oliver. He'll tell you.
None whatsoever.
What's the big deal? Okay. Uh-oh, a bunch of celebrities are leaving X. Oh, no. That much more straight ahead.
This statement is not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com, or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to NordicUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New year, new you, New Nordic.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Mark Van Camp and Robin Show. You know, when you're running a business, it'd be a lot of pressure. It's you that has to be worried about the bottom line. You want things to run smooth and efficient. That's why over 40,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle. Because when you have one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions.
NetSuite brings accounting, financial management, inventory, HR into one fluid platform with real-time insights and forecasting. You're peering into the future with actionable data. It's so effective, you'll be tired of winning. When you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you're spending less time looking backwards and more time working on that Trump dance.
Yeah, NetSuite helps you respond to immediate challenges and seizes your biggest opportunities. And you can get started right now by downloading the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/MVR. The guide is free to you. netsuite.com/MVR. netsuite.com/MVR.
News update, David Van Camp.
Well, I'm still laughing at, America's disappointed stepmom and dad. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski doing their lengthy monologue today. Well, I guess it's a double monologue. Listen, America, we sat down with Donald Trump. Katie Fang, who's an MSNBC anchor, put out, we should not normalize Donald Trump. And I'm like, try more.
Wayfarers Black Friday.
The American people normalized it twice. Get over yourself.
What's up, everyone? My name is Zavage,
think about
and
it.
today I will be giving a
CNN
quick
viewers
overview of the
freaked
shock
out, or at least that's what we were told when they did the town hall with him. Was that a year and a half ago? Somewhere in there? You're platforming
Once
him.
acquired, you'll be
What are
sent
you
to the
talking
northern
about?
portion of the Barrens to find Carl
Half the
Fisk.
country wants to
For
vote
control
for him,
players, this
and you
will
don't
be
think
very
he should be
convenient, as
heard?
He is just to the northwest along
That makes
your
no
path, entering
sense.
the Barrens coming from
But they're the
Durzar.
ones fighting for
Journey,
democracy.
as You'll need to run from Mulgore all the way up
Yeah,
through the
that makes a lot of sense.
You can
Okay,
find the entry to the
whatever.
path by
Then you
following the
got
river
all these
south from the bridge
celebrities
entering
saying
Durzar.
we're leaving Twitter
Once you
for Blue
back
Sky
2 items to him.
because it's not
Drops off
toxic
razor
there.
main geomancers and
Huh.
water seekers who
What,
can be
what
found
was
in
it?
the
Just
Barrens,
positive
across the
posts
road
at
from
Blue
where you
Sky?
found
That's all
Carl
it's going to
Fisk.
be. Nothing
Agent
controversial.
pouch,
Maybe
Ralph
that and
Converting Blade
pedophilia.
cultists
Did you see the
found in
report
an
that there
unmarked
seems to
cave
be
on top of
yet
the cliffs
again an
just north of
abnormal
an unmarked
amount
cave on top of the cliffs just
child
north of Razorhead.
exploitation images shared on that platform?
Just like the old Twitter.
And
How about that?
Mastodon, and what was there was one others that...
Golly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to keep popping back up with the same crew, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I saw Mark Cuban went there. Something about it's nice to be on a non-hate-filled platform. It's like, shut up.
What, so you can say all the hateful things you want about Trump?
Yeah.
And then you lose, and then you quit.
Yeah, you can't be on a hate-filled platform anymore. Okay.
So some of the big celebrities, you've got James Gunn, John Cusack,
of course,
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Flavor Flav. Patton Oswalt. Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Barbara Streisand. Okay, I'm like, okay, is there anyone that's relevant right now? I guess Lizzo. Outside of that, like, oh, okay. So as of a few days ago, Blue Sky had 16.7 million users. Not quite the 300 million on X.
And most of those people will be back.
Oh, yeah.
They've said this before. Remember when Musk bought Twitter? How many pieces were written by journalists talking about this is the end? People are going to leave this platform. And then it was, and it's not going to make any money. This was so stupid to pay this kind of money. I thought at the time, I think he's doing it for the free speech thing more than anything, and he has the money. But all of a sudden, it's doing better than it ever has. You can feel a whole tide turning in a number of different ways right now, which I think is a good thing. Elon Musk, I know, is having a good time. This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but Synchronized Media, Legacy Media, they're a little concerned about Trump's picks for his team.
Really?
Are they really? I thought they were acting very reasonably.
Yeah. Man, they're out of their minds right now.
Let's go to ABC's Good Morning America.
Oh, gosh.
We had some of this earlier. Pick it up.
Trump is making it clear he plans to overhaul government agencies, tasking billionaire confidant Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to lead a newly created Department of Government Efficiency.
We expect certain agencies to be deleted outright. We expect mass reductions in force in areas of the federal government that are bloated. We expect massive cuts among federal contractors and others who are overbilling the federal government.
Ramaswamy and Musk there by Trump's side at the fight this weekend.
There they were, the controversial team.
There they were.
At
People
the
that are
UFC
going to
fight.
ruin America, right there.
Yep.
So too was his pick for Energy Secretary, Chris Wright. One of the nation's top fracking CEOs, Wright has fiercely criticized the existence of a climate crisis.
There is no climate crisis, and we're not in the midst of an energy transition either.
Wright, who has no government experience, has argued the impacts of climate change are overblown.
Time out.
Yeah.
You know what that means. If people are freaking out about that.
Do you know who he's going to replace?
How dare you?
Jennifer Granholm.
She had a lot of experience coming in.
None.
Well, no.
What are you? What is this with this experience nonsense?
They say experience in government, not experience in energy.
They got us
Experience in-
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Jennifer Granholm. Oh God. All right.
So, and I have to paint this picture for David. So next, they start talking about climate change and the devastation that, say, after a hurricane, different things that have happened. They've got that file footage rolling as they roll on.
But scientists agree humans are causing global warming and climate change. This year is shaping up to be the hottest on record.
Time out. They never say what scientists.
Right.
And they never talk about the scientists that disagree.
Right.
Just, it's accepted fact, believe us.
With more extreme weather events made worse by climate change expected. And leading health experts continue to sound the alarm about Trump's choice to lead the Department of Health and Human Services.
My goodness, RFK Jr. This is where their heads really explode.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. A prominent vaccine skeptic, Kennedy is deeply suspicious of mainstream medicine and has vowed to reshape the U.S. health system.
I am outraged because lives are at stake here. To have someone leading HHS who is one of the biggest deniers of vaccines in our country would undermine the confidence in that program and likely would cost lives.
Time out. So that's their health expert, the doctor.
Yeah.
They ran these guys out there constantly during COVID. and were wrong at every turn. Yet I guess they expect people to still just believe everything they say.
Yeah.
They've lost the trust, man. And they will never talk about what has RFK Jr. actually said on a number of different topics. And it's not that I agree on everything, but they misrepresent him like crazy.
Even the conservative editorial board of the Rupert Murdoch-owned New York Post writing the overriding rule of medicine is first, do no harm. We are certain installing Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to head Health and Human Services breaks this rule.
Does it? Or does it get in the way of their pharmaceutical dollars? Because Fox and New York Post and Wall Street Journal, they want that too.
How about the people that were harmed by your little vaccine? For the old COVID, huh?
That's a right-wing conspiracy.
Is it?
No.
No?
No,
Of course not.
No.
Jeez, I mean, she's got all the talking points, so every single one of them now. Every
Honestly,
single one.
Think if you really had a news organization that was going to do an entire expose of vaccine injury, what it would look like. It would be vast, man.
Oh, of course it would.
They're not going to do it because they're owned. If they were really looking out for the people, and that's not to shut down any vaccine, it's to say, okay, there was risk involved, and they didn't tell you about it.
You know, unlike the last administration, if it doesn't work out with one of these appointments, Trump will fire him.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah, they'll be gone. They won't be allowed to linger and just continue to pollute it like Biden.
No, they will not. Meanwhile, something that took a lot of people by surprise, including all three of us, that Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski went to Mar-a-Lago to see the Trumpster.
Yeah, from MSNBC's Morning Joe. Yeah, they did their little sketch, I guess, today, giving a speech, sitting down the kids and saying this is why we went, and had a meeting with Donald Trump face to face.
By the way, did you notice how uncomfortable they looked doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, well, now is the time to forget about who indicted who and who called Hitler and all that stuff.
Right.
Oh, it is?
It's time to come together now, America.
Oh, really? Okay.
As for us, we also let him know that we will continue to speak truth to power and push back hard when called for, as we have with all presidents.
You have a little lie. What a freaking lie.
Is this a comedy sketch?
No kidding.
Okay.
Don't be mistaken. We're not here to defend or normalize Donald Trump. We're here to report on him and to hopefully provide you insights that are going to better equip all of us in understanding these deeply unsettling times.
So we're going to give you insight as to why people voted for him, or into Trump's mind. What are you talking about?
Yeah, into Trump's mind.
Why don't you just say, we went to kiss the ring. We're sorry. Yeah. Okay?
And I am reminded of what Marty Barron, legendary editor, told his Washington Post reporters back in the first term.
Yeah.
We're not going to war. We're going to work.
Oh, sure, Marty Barron. He said that, didn't he? Okay. Whatever. Whoever.
That's a clown show.
It absolutely is.
It really is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
It really is. Okay. Moving on to other things. Okay, well, let's get to the Jen Psaki. Let's get rid of all these goofs at one time.
Oh, yeah. Former White House press secretary Jen Psaki says that Democrats need to double down on boys playing in girls' sports.
Are you serious?
I heard this.
They've not learned this yet?
Nope.
Oh, my God.
This idea that America is faced with a crisis of boys playing in girls' sports. Now, these ads created this perception that the issues of trans kids playing sports was dominating schools across the country, which is completely false.
It's a false narrative. No one said it was the major issue. It's that this is happening, and before it spreads anymore, it's got to stop.
Again, what is the acceptable number of males slamming volleyballs off girls' faces? What's the number? 10? 7? 30? I don't know. Before it becomes a problem. 4 concussions not enough. We need 6 or 7, really.
It's taking scholarships. It's taking spots. It's all the things that normal people can see. It's not a tough thing, Jen.
Some people got pulled into that argument. Look, reflection is good, but if that were actually an issue at thousands of schools across the country, it would be worthy of a debate.
You mean the way you talked about abortion all the time and women that died?
Yeah.
And you misrepresented what actually happened?
Yes.
And how rare it is? You mean one of those cases, Jen?
But there are just incredibly few examples of transgender girls playing in youth sports. And when we see those examples, there isn't evidence that these kids are a threat to safety or fairness.
She hasn't seen the video, I guess.
No.
Okay.
Or she's
Keep doing what you're doing. That's fine, Jen. Usually when people take an L like that, they look in the mirror and say, okay, we've messed this up and messed this up. Now, but again, you wonder who's funding these people. Special interest groups, like, keep out there. You got to keep banging that message. I have no idea. I don't know. That's insane to me. Meanwhile, I have a question. I'm just going to throw it at you guys because I happen to see this story. This is out of South Carolina, Lancaster County. A teacher has filed a sexual harassment complaint against one of her 10-year-old students after the kid hugged her multiple times. Okay.
The person's 10?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The teacher said the child in October laid his head on her chest while he hugged her. In another instance, also in October, she said he pressed his body into hers and wrapped his arms around her. She claimed that when she told him hugging from behind is very inappropriate and not do it again. Then earlier this month, the teacher claimed he approached her from behind, pressed his body into hers, and put his hands on her hip and side area, attempting to hug her from behind again. Said it was that incident that led her to file the case. Now, the boy's mom said she's hurt and confused, didn't know it had gotten this far, and the child has been put on a no-hug policy while the claims are being investigated. Here's my question. I mean this. In grade school, is it okay for kids and teachers to hug? Is there a line there?
I'd rather not.
What is 10? Was that third grade?
It's like third or fourth grade,
Third
right?
or fourth grade? Yeah, probably not so much at that age.
You were a little past it?
I think so. I think
Like, no more
kindergarten
hugging?
is probably acceptable, but I don't know. I would tell. I mean,
Once you get past first grade, is that what you'd say?
well, hugging your mom, dad, your grandparents, sister, brother, whatever, that's okay. But I don't know about just random.
Here's the kid's mom.
He feels the same way I do, hurt, confusion. I feel like school should be a safe place, and him not feeling that way anymore has him in a world of emotions right now.
You know, a lot of times I'm looking to side with the parent in a situation. I don't know that I can.
I can't.
Well,
I can't. I'm with you on that one.
The 10-year-old, I mean, look, the 10-year-old kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's
some
not...
people have foggy memories. Like, my second grade teacher was a smoke show.
And you knew it then.
If you're listening, Mrs. Headbloom, sorry to refer you as a smoke show, but everybody knew it in the school.
But, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm thinking even at then, hugging Mrs. Headbloom would have been pretty cool. Like, you just didn't do that.
Yeah.
And by the way, if her husband Bruce is listening, hey, man, that was way back then. All right? Well, because he was a construction guy, and he was a tough guy. I'm not looking to get on his bad side, I'll tell you that.
Dude, my daughter does, like, toddler gymnastics, which is just such a scam anyway, but that's a different story. But the other day, there is one of their coaches who's a very attractive young woman.
Yeah.
And it's really funny watching all you're talking like 5-year-old boys, 6-year-old boys.
Yeah.
They're all like, they all want to be in her unit. Like, whenever she's leading a specific activity, they all really want to, and they want to hug. And
it happens that way.
It's fairly innocent at that age. Like, it's not, they know something's really cool about her, but they're not quite sure what it is. By 10, dude, don't touch your teacher.
Yeah.
No. My 7th grade music teacher was top 10 Miss America and won the swimsuit competition.
I remember that story.
Go. Yeah, we had our music contest. All the dads came to all of our little Christmas programs after that. 100%.
By the way, and if there's no difference, boys, girls, or whatever, think this same scenario. It's a 10-year-old girl, and the 4th grade teacher's a guy. They're like, absolutely not. There's no hugging there.
No.
Right.
What are we doing?
Well, no.
Sting wrote a song about it.
Yeah, he did.
Well, hold on a second. That girl was older. She was in high school. It's like a senior.
Young teacher, the subject.
He was 22, I think. It was a tale of forbidden love. Anyway, got to get to a news update. And Biden in the forest, you got to hear next. Football is in full swing, and hockey and basketball are underway. It's a good time to check out Prize Picks.
Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats projections.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Join over 10 million users.
All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. You can get your money in as little as 15 minutes.
Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks does not hit.
Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season.
Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts. Just check the app for more details.
Download the app today. Use code MVCR to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed.
That's code MVCR to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
Prize Picks, run your game.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Active Liver is available in both a delicious gummy or tablet. You can find Active Liver in stores at CVS or Meijer or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
The Markley, Van Camp and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Notice not a lot of legacy or synchronized media on that former FEMA worker exposing the scandal of FEMA just passing by any homes with a Trump sign in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
Not getting much play.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I noticed that too. Over the weekend even, I didn't hear much about it.
They try to make it out to be, well, as one rogue person. She's like,
They're just angry and,
She's saying, you're not going to throw me under the bus. That was
right. Man, oh man. You got that going out there. And then you got Biden. All of a sudden it's like, yeah, Ukraine, lob whatever you want into Russia. It'll be fine.
I don't really care.
I'm going to the forest. I'm going to the rainforest.
Yeah, I'm safe.
Talk to you later.
I'm safe there.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. And you wonder who ordered that. Whether it was, in fact, him, and I don't believe it was.
You don't think he's the commander-in-chief,
No, I
Scott?
don't think he's running anything. I think the husk is done.
I think David's going to correct you here. Dank Brandon is still out there.
Yeah. Dank Brandon is. Midnight Mitch on X put out a new video in the Dark Brandon series where he makes Joe Biden say what he's actually thinking.
Yes.
And this is from the trip to Brazil that Biden took, where he appeared to just wander off into the rainforest.
Yes. Have you heard this, Scott?
No.
Okay, I'm going to stop it every time you laugh. Okay. This is good.
Good afternoon, Amazonians, and to Wonder Woman, who I was just informed could not make it on account of her not actually being a real person. It's your boy Dank Brandon here. Man, it's hot as down here. I'm sweating more than Kamalo's vendors wondering if they're going to get paid.
Because they may not get paid.
They may not get paid, no.
So true. Okay.
I shouldn't have said that. But seriously, I could really go for a pair of those assless chaps Mike Tyson's wearing. It's like there's a second Amazon River happening in the back of my pants.
I don't want these to ever end. There's So funny.
We need to keep the forest here thick like Tulsi Gabbard in a pair of dress slacks. Man, I still can't believe we traded her for female Dick Cheney.
It's so great.
Anyways, I'm leaving now. I'm about to go search the jungles for my Uncle Ambrose's body. I just hope the cannibals left something for me to identify. Thank Brandon, out.
That's one of those that I keep forgetting about, but is actually one of the craziest things I've ever heard a president say, which is Joe Biden multiple times regaling us with the tale of his Uncle Bosie.
Unreal.
What? He crashed during World War II in the South Pacific and got eaten by cannibals?
Yes.
And then everybody's like, that's not true. That didn't happen.
That just go with it.
He just said it.
Yeah.
Like he just rolled out there.
Yeah, my uncle, God rest his soul, eaten by cannibals.
You know, that's the thing about those cannibals. I've never known a more fit Joe Biden.
Yeah, right. He's with it, okay?
Political win. He booted it.
That's not
We
AI.
as the evolve our institution.
Unbelievable.
What happened?
This is the Markley Van Camp and Robin Show.
What happened?
That might be my favorite. This is like being a fan of Zeppelin at different times. There are different songs that are your favorites.
Yeah.
They kind of come in and out of rotation.
Yeah.
Right now, I think that...
What happened?
That couldn't even be translated.
That one, didn't he say secretary something? It was like mum or something?
The secretary, I'm not sure I'm going to introduce you all the way.
Holy mackerel. Best Biden ever. There's my friend LL.
LLJ Cool J.
But at least he wasn't a threat to democracy.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, news update. And the Scott Robbins top 3 of the day, the trifecta, straight ahead. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. Got the trifecta coming up in just a few. News update, David Van Camp.
Ilhan Omar, representative out of Minnesota, has tweeted out in response to Trump confirming that, yes, I will use a national emergency declaration to start mass deportation of criminal aliens. And she goes, Donald Trump plans to declare a national emergency and utilize the Alien Enemies Act to conduct mass deportations. This xenophobia and cruelty shouldn't be allowed in America. We are going to fight it every step of the way. My only response is, hey, lady, you've got 2 months. Adios.
Adios, muchacho.
So, for known criminals,
yeah,
beyond crossing the border coming into the country, that already makes you a criminal. But beyond that, criminal, like as they said, first people we're looking for, criminals. We're going to deport you. That's xenophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people did something.
Yeah. Some people deported some other people.
Yes.
We can take her too.
Oh, 100%. Yes. The whole squad. And AOC, she's not sure where to turn right now. She doesn't know what the next play is.
Spinning around like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, you know, it's wild.
Yeah, like, okay, what policies are not resonating? What's going on? It's like all of a sudden that bubble got popped, and it's like this sense of they don't know what reality is.
You know, they can't get by with rolling a hand grenade under the table anymore, and they're upset about it.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Saw this out of Australia. I mentioned this earlier. We didn't have time for it. This is all about health and helping scientists better understand the characteristics of one of the leading gut health symptoms, and that would be gas.
Yeah.
So they have this app now called Chart Your Fart. It lets you track things like frequency, duration, loudness.
Duration.
Duration. Yeah. I mean, are you talking about Does it last a second? Can you get one to go 8 seconds? I don't know. Different people have different skills, Scott. The loudness, the stench, how long it lingered. After a performance from this studio last week, Scott, I think this might be right for you.
You think so?
I do. I don't know if it's that medication you're on or what it was.
Yeah, well, it's different, so it's, you know.
But apparently anybody can download it. It's meant for Australians.
How would you know? You have to be, I don't know.
What do you mean, how would you know?
The duration? How is it going to...
Well, how long did it last?
I know, but how is that going to track it?
I don't
the sound and how loud it was, or if there was much of an odor to it. It's not something that everyone's comfortable discussing,
right.
But it is a normal function of the body, and it's healthy. It's a sign that you're healthy.
And I'm not just bringing this up for middle school bard humor. I'm thinking this will resonate with a lot of different people that have someone in their life that are like, I'm going to have to get them the app because something's wrong. We don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a diet. Exactly what it is. I mean, you'll walk down the hall sometimes, Scott, and come back and say, what is it, blood giving day? What's happening
Well,
here?
that's in our bathroom. We got this tiny little bathroom that's destroyed several times a day. And if you're lucky, you go in there before the wreckers get there.
Sometimes it smells like gasoline, which always makes me worried.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I should call someone.
Or either that or we have people that operate on gasoline that work here, and we don't even know it. They're robots of some kind.
If they have the app, maybe we can get to the bottom of all of it. I don't know. We're here to help, not to hurt. You know that. All right, you ready for your big three?
People can't just wait till they get home. But anyway, go ahead.
Are you ready?
Well, that's not good for you.
It's the 3 most important news stories of the day.
I'm not going to be shamed, Scott.
Well, at least according to Scott Robbins. It's the trifecta on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins show.
Every day about this time, Scott Robbins trifecta his top 3, helped by his hero.
I'm Casey Kasem.
You don't have to worry about any of that.
If it smells like gasoline, I guarantee you they could not wait until they got home. That was an emergency, friend.
Go to the gas station before you came to work?
Yeah.
What is
I'm
that?
ready.
3. Yeah.
They can't smoke in bathrooms anymore.
Number 3. Former Obama lackey claims Trump's win wasn't a mandate.
What?
Yeah, this stuff, it makes me absolutely crazy. Another one of these guys, Richard Stengel is his name, wants everybody to know that Trump's big win was not, by the way, a landslide. It was not that way at all. He said Trump has fallen below 50% of the popular vote. His margin of victory, population vote, equals Electoral College, and the third smallest since 1888. Only JFK in 60 and Nixon in 68 were smaller. If 238,000 votes in blue wall states had been different, he would have lost. Not a mandate. Hey, idiot, you lost big. Nobody's lost that big since Walter Mondale was beaten by Ronald Reagan.
Also think about everything that was against him.
Well, yeah, I mean, you spent months trying to convince the country the guy was Hitler, right?
Yes.
And the wall just got 10 feet taller, believe me.
I just like this whole deal where history, you're just remaking it in like real time now.
They've been doing that for a while.
You're going, well, that can't possibly be right.
Yes.
The GOP also took control of the House and, of course, both houses of Congress, the White House and both houses of Congress. So, yeah, it was a mandate.
Now, on with the countdown.
Okay. Scott Robbins, trifecta, top 3 of the day. Now number
2.
Number 2, Jonathan Turley, legal analyst, weighs in on Whoopi Goldberg, who defamed a bakery in New York last week.
Yeah, we played that clip here, by the way.
Yeah.
On the program, Whoopi portrayed herself as some sort of weird victim of backlash against Donald Trump, right? She stated, now, I should tell you, Charlotte Russo has no political leanings. And the place that made these refused to make them for me. Yeah. And apparently she...
All right, what's the whole story?
Well, she had gotten some cupcakes or something from a bakery, a fairly well-known bakery in New York. And she claimed that they weren't going to serve them because...
of her political leanings.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said the ovens had gone down. But folks, she said, went in and got stuff out of there anyway. That was watching this take place. And, of course, the reason was behind that was, of course, they didn't like her political leanings, so that's why they refused her service. Always the victim with these people, always. Now, the people there on Staten Island who own this bakery said that's absolutely not true. And so now there's claims out there. They got a bunch of lawyers that want to take this thing on and say, hey, man, this is defamation. This hurts your business. Now, here's the side that doesn't make any sense to that claim that it hurts their business is that they've been flooded with like 3 times as much business as they normally get.
Oh, that's
so actually, it was really good for business.
You know, you go through the history of different things. Whoopi Goldberg has said, it's amazing she has a job. It truly is. I mean, I'm looking at a first page of just clips that we've had over the years. I mean, this was in, within the last year or so. Gays are going to have to leave the country if Trump's elected.
Yeah.
How many times have they gone to that one?
Lots. They still do.
It's crazy.
And based on what?
Bail was just invented for Donald Trump. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I mean, insane.
Wait a minute. Did you say bail was invented because of Donald Trump?
Yes. Every time someone sees 4 black people, they think it's Antifa. That's another classic.
Because Antifa's like the whitest movement in the history of Western civilization.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this one. It's not like Jackie Walorski died 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Making excuses for Biden when seeing dead people.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you could go on. It's like page after page.
Well, she supported Jill Biden to be the Surgeon General because she was, quote, a hell of a doctor.
A hell of a doctor.
That's right.
She's not a doctor.
That's got to be the classic of all classics right there.
And the countdown
One of my
continues.
all-time favorites. Yes.
Scott Robbins trifecta top 3 of the day.
And finally, one.
She wanted Dr. Hook to be the surgeon. Member of some kind. Yeah.
Number 1, Dems on X are freaking out.
Yeah, know this. Donald Trump chose ultra-mega extremist Matt Gaetz as his attorney general because he knows Gaetz, a local or a loyal warrior, who will enable him some dangerous plans for revenge and retribution. Now, the follow-up to that was, by someone else who answered him, revenge for what? Retribution for what? Would that be revenge and retribution towards specific individuals within the government? And if so, yeah, that's why we voted for him. We want revenge and retribution. Damn right we do. Because here's the thing. I've heard people talking about this for a long, he's just talking about revenge and retribution. That's what he wants. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what he wants. Yeah, know it. You overwhelmingly voted for him to do this sort of thing, to clean house, to get these people out. And that's revenge and retribution. Because Republicans do this all the time. They always go, well, we don't play those games. We're not going to get into that mudslinging stuff or do these types of things. Listen, get in there as deep into the mud as you possibly can, swing it, and make them drown in it now.
Boy, you've really changed your tune on some of this.
I'm tired of this stuff because they do it all the time. They get in there like, well, we're Americans and we don't want, this is not how we play the game, and that's what they do. And I'm like, well, no. We elected Donald Trump because we want revenge and retribution.
We've had the conversation about boycotts I don't know how many times.
Exactly.
We don't do that, and all of a sudden you changed your mind on that.
I have changed my mind. I boycott the hell out of them, yes. Fine by me. Because I'm telling you, man, they do it all the time, and they know there's not going to be a lot of pushback politically on the other end. They know that.
I don't know what all they found in the report on Gaetz. I don't know if that's going to come out or not. I have no idea. Like we said before, I mean, if you ask me, do I trust Gaetz? Well, no. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, he's a wild card in a lot of different ways.
Definitely
there are some people that I respect that are totally defending him getting through, and other people are like, oh, this is a bad idea. To be honest, I'm not quite sure. I'm just kind of here for the popcorn to see what happens. But I can't say that he doesn't entertain me at times.
No, and Trump has, he should go in. These people, are you kidding me? They colluded to just absolutely destroy him, jail him, kill him.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other part, and it always comes up in, reports of a 17-year-old girl, he denies. And to David's point from earlier, okay, there was a credible report about Kamala Harris's husband.
Yes.
Slapping an ex-girlfriend. Nothing ever about it.
Nope.
So you're like, okay, well, what's real and what isn't?
Not to mention Hunter Biden fiasco.
Oh my gosh!
I mean
yeah.
that it's never ever been. That's just gone away now. That's got to be brought back to life. You got to pump some life into that one too.
The last thing about Gates, and I know I played it before, but it is one of the classics because he doesn't give a flip a lot of the time.
Is it safe to say that based off of your comments, you're suggesting that these women at these abortion rallies are ugly and overweight?
Yes.
What do you say to people who think that those comments are offensive?
Be offended.
And there you have it. And that's
right.
Scott Robbins trifecta.
We don't play those games. We're not like that. Well, it's time to be like that.
There you go.
Yes.
Might want to lend you my Judas Priest album, Screaming for Vengeance.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Holy smokes. All right, we got to get to a news update, and Nimrod's in the news. Straight ahead right here. Nobody knows what it's going to be like to run a business a month from now, much less a year from now.
So much is happening every single day. It's crazier than ever, especially if you're worried about the bottom line.
Over 40,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle.
With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions.
NetSuite brings accounting, financial management, inventory, HR, all of it into one fluid platform.
With real-time insights and forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data.
When you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you're spending less time looking backwards and more time on what's next.
NetSuite helps you respond to immediate challenges and seize your biggest opportunities.
Get started by downloading the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/MVR.
The guide is free to you at netsuite.com/MVR.
Find out what you need to know and get the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning for free at netsuite.com/MVR.
This statement is not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I was always tired, with weekly bouts of indigestion. A friend asked me, when was the last time you did a detox? Never, I said, so she recommended Active Liver.
Our liver works hard every day to remove toxins from processed foods and unclean air and water. But too many toxins can overwhelm the liver, causing it to actually store toxins in our body fat. Low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation are all telltale signs that we need to act. Water or juice fasts can help, but often require days or weeks of feeling tired and sick. Thankfully, there's an easier way. Active Liver from New Nordic is a natural supplement that helps your liver effectively eliminate toxins on a daily basis, leaving you feeling better with more energy and less bloating.
Within a week of taking Active Liver, I was feeling better, and now I have more energy than I've had in years.
Available in both tablet or delicious gummies, you can find Active Liver online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or in stores at your local CVS or Meijer grocery.
The Markley Van Camp and Robbins Show. Yes, football in full swing, basketball, hockey. It's a good time to check out Prize Picks. They've made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players. It is the best place to get real money sports action. There's over 10 million users now. And all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Strike one. And you can get your money in as little as 15 minutes.
And it's really easy to play. You're just picking more or less. They also offer Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this year. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts. Just check the app for more details.
You can download that app today and use code MBCR to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. The code again is MBCR to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Here's a story. World War II vet in Rhode Island, 98-year-old Anthony Simone. He was born on the 4th of July, 1926. Wow. Dropped out of high school at 16 to support his family because it was Great Depression. Then enlisted in the Army. Fought in the Battle of the Bulge.
Wow.
Eventually, he got his GED, but never got an actual diploma. So his family made it happen last week. Graduated from high school. And they got his high school to hold a graduation ceremony for him on Veterans Day. And here he is.
I'm really honored to be here. And I want to say I'm very proud of my family, and I'm very proud for my military service I was in, and I wish I could have stayed in longer.
It's humbling, isn't it?
Greatest generation.
Man, oh man. Like, man, my internet's not working today. I'm really frustrated.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's perspective.
It is. Yep, it is.
All right, we got to get to Nimrods. Let's roll it out. Here we go.
When the going gets tough.
Damn it, this is too hard.
The dumb get dumber.
All right, Ian.
It's Nimrods in the News on the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
I love the poorly educated.
All right. Nimrod's the news. We go to South Korea. 28-year-old dude got arrested at the airport. This was in Peru where he got arrested after trying to smuggle 320 tarantulas through security by strapping them to his body.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
I knew that would freak you out.
Yeah.
Now, 285 were babies packed in plastic tubes.
Oh, geez.
But the other 35 full-grown tarantulas described as the size of a human hand.
Oh, God.
He had them stuffed in bags and belted to his torso. Now, security flagged him when they noticed his stomach seemed like really swollen. Like,
moving?
That's abnormal.
Undulating, yes.
Yeah. On top of the 320 tarantulas, he also had 110 centipedes strapped to his body and 9 bullet ants. Have you ever heard of a bullet ant?
Doesn't sound good.
Known for having the most painful sting of any insect. They think that he poached them from the Amazon with plans then to resell them overseas. He was flying back to South Korea, but there was a layover in France.
Dang, those layovers. Man.
So, yeah, that's a wild one.
Gee whiz.
Yeah. Then there was a mom in Michigan. She jumped the counter at a hotel and assaulted an employee because her credit card was declined. And then that Florida dude that showed up at Mar-a-Lago last week, I want to speak to Trump. He was arrested. It turned out he was in a stolen car.
Oh, well.
And that's Nimrod's in the News.
Water damage is no joke. Did you know that water damage makes up more than 25% of all home insurance claims, and the average claim costs over $13,000? Don't let a small leak turn into a big expense. Learn more at go.pemco.com/no-joke. Pemco Mutual Insurance Company, Seattle, Washington.
Are you ready?
Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, and Scott Robbins.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Making sense of it all.
Now I get it.
And having some fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
This is the Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show.
All right, let's do it. The Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins Show. Jamie Markley, David Van Camp, Scott Robbins. And we talked about this over the last week or so. Man, if Trump names RFK Jr., Health and Human Services, the freak out is going to be incredible, and it has not disappointed.
Oh, no. No, it certainly hasn't. There's been a lot of hand-wringing. I think Jake Tapper on CNN was saying something like, well, America, I hope you like measles. What do you think HHS Secretary actually does? That's the question I would love to ask all these people. But they're acting like he's gonna like walk into every pediatrician's office and like kick down the door and say, you can't put that vaccine in that kid's arm.
Oh my gosh. All right, and we'll get to that in a second, but we've got problems. Trump is upending bipartisanship.
Yeah, no kidding. This was something on CBS News. They are very upset by Trump's cabinet picks. Here is Major Garrett.
Oh, major bummer.
There is no desire to govern as we have known governing to be pronounced and practiced for the last 4 or 5, maybe 6, 7 decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was promising people. That's what they voted for.
That's kind of the point. Yep.
This administration intends not only to take things out of Washington and relocate them in other parts of the country, resize, downsize, reimagine, and impose their will on the way they believe government should be structured.
Yeah.
They are not just overturning the Biden-Harris approach. They're overturning the bipartisan approach to governing and bureaucracy in Washington that's basically been here since the end of World War II. That is how different, and some might say radical, this administration tends to be, and almost every single one of these cabinet appointees announced so far want to fulfill or at least pursue that kind of mission.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of us don't look at it that way. We look at it more like, can you dig it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what people voted for.
I mean, is that shocking? Gee, we'd like business as usual. That's why we voted for Donald Trump. No.
Go out and talk to people.
Yes.
You'll understand it.
But that's why they voted for him.
People don't trust in a lot of government anymore, and they certainly don't trust the media because they've been lied to.
If you've ever tried to go through the bureaucracy of the government to get anything, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. I mean, okay, going to the RFK Jr. pick. Here's a little taste, open from Today's Show.
Courting controversy, the president-elect picks Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to run the nation's Health and Human Services Agency.
Nobody's going to be able to do it like you.
And brushes aside concerns about RFK's support for scientific
There's no
conspiracy
vaccine
theories.
that is, safe and effective.
And lack of any medical background.
Time out. Okay. Wait. That is one of those things that legacy media and synchronized media is known for. Let's take the little soundbite that's so misleading. How many times has that guy had to say, I'm not anti-vax?
Right.
But they should have to go through the same testing as other medicines.
Well, what I don't understand the dig that he has a lack of medical background. The current head of HHS is an attorney. It's Javier Becerra, a.k.a. Javier Baccaria, according to Joe Biden.
Yes.
Javier Baccaria.
He was the Attorney General of California before he took over that post. What the hell does a medical degree have to do with anything here?
Well, but it was different with him because he was one of the good guys. This guy is an anti-vax nut. That's what we're being told. It's really interesting, man. I remember when Megyn Kelly first interviewed him, and she was getting criticized for even platforming him. She was like, wait a second, I actually want to have a conversation with this guy to see what he actually has to say. And it was pretty contentious going back and forth. And through listening to several interviews with him, I think he's pretty misunderstood. I don't agree with him on everything, but the freak out on him and the narrative on him has been false, at least as far as I'm concerned. But, man, that didn't stop people from freaking out. I think, was it Van Jones that just had no words? Caitlin Collins on CNN is bringing on Van to comment on, it's great, isn't it? Couple of failures here. Here you go.
Kind of was going out publicly contradicting Howard Lutnick and saying, Trump has told me I can get essentially whatever I would like in this administration.
I don't know what you want me to say. I am just at a loss because we're watching something happen in slow motion that is terrifying. The reason we have a great country is because there are pillars in place. There are columns and structures, just like in your house. Columns and pillars that you don't see, but they keep things in a good place. They keep things in a good direction. We have healthy children because they're...
No, we don't.
That's a lie.
No, we don't.
That's a lie. Yes.
How can you say that with the obesity rate?
Dude.
And the disease.
Did you see the latest stat? 1 in 4 families in America have at least one child or somebody in the house that has a whether it's ADD, whether it's...
I'm sure.
1 in 4. 1 in 4. That's
There's a lot of
crazy,
different diseases and the obesity rate. So to say
that's
we have
one of them,
healthy
the
kids,
obesity rate, yes.
That's nonsense.
Children, because there are people who've made sure that there are things in place for that. And right now we're seeing...
No, man, if you've paid attention, Van... There are certain parts of our food that have preservatives, that have these, different things in them that even Europe says you can't put that in the food because it's too toxic.
Right.
It's not good for you. Right. Causes disease.
Right now we're seeing termites unleashed on everything. And this is a termite appointment. We know for sure that...
Wait a second. He's calling Trump's picks termites?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doesn't that sound Hitlery?
Well, according to people like Van Jones, yeah.
Usually that's